Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time you're watching this video. Okay, Mr. Connolly here, and I'm just going to introduce to you your second computer science homework project. Okay, now the expectation is you spend 6 to 8 hours on this, and it's broke down into two sections. Section one will get you to create a newsletter, and I would like you to take a picture of it or upload the finished product to Teams so I can mark it and have a look at it. And then the second part is an online test which you will complete. Now, I do insist that you don't complete the online test until you've completed the newsletter, okay, or you won't be able to answer the questions. So, overview of the task. We live in an online world. Although computers can be a great tool for communicating, researching, banking and shopping, they can also be a criminal's delight because so much personal data is being shared. Okay, your home project is to produce a newsletter to inform your parents of the dangers of computer fraud and then offer advice on how to protect your online identity. Okay, now I will support this task via Microsoft Teams, but also if you have any other issues, you can always contact me by my school email. Okay, now the task. You need to create a newsletter to inform parents of the dangers of computer fraud and offer advice on how to protect a person's online identity. Okay, now the product can either be created with suitable software, it'll need to be uploaded to Microsoft Teams, okay, or produced on paper. You'll need to take a picture of it once you've finished it on paper and upload it to Teams. Now, I am aware that some people have had problems with Microsoft Teams, so if that's the case, you can email me, okay, either a picture of your finished flyer on paper or your finished product to my school email address. Okay, now you need to create a new document for your newsletter, come up with a suitable title, okay, and there are 4 different areas you'll need to research and include on your newsletter. Now, there is a final task that I want you to do once you complete the newsletter, and that is an online Socrative test. Now, I will include this PowerPoint in the resources on Teams, but if I just scroll to the end of the PowerPoint, you'll see there is an example of a newsletter. Okay, now a newsletter is a product that's going to be printed, okay, and it should really only be 2 slides. This is 2 sides of A4. Okay, if you need more pages, that's not an issue. You can use more pages. Okay, but two sides would be perfect. Okay, so task 1, the first section, I would like you to come up with tips for staying safe online. Actually, task 1, before you actually do that section, I would come up with a catchy title for your newsletter. Now, what I don't want anyone to do is to just call it newsletter. Okay, boring. What I want you to do is to come up with something catchy. Like, for example, you could have a headline saying, "You wouldn't leave your front door unlocked, so why leave your computer unlocked?" You can probably come up with something much better than that, but that sort of thing. All right, so once you come up with your title, then I want you to start part 1. And the first section, what you're going to do is you're going to come up with a section that talks about tips for staying safe online. Okay, now before you do this, I want you to watch this video clip. Okay, now I will attach the PowerPoint to the thing so you can just open it up and click on it. I don't expect you to type it in. Okay, and then once you've watched the video, you should have, okay, and you might want to make notes as you watch the video, you should have a list of tips that you can include on your newsletter for staying safe when you're online. Okay, so that's your first section. The second section looks at secure passwords, phishing, and identity theft. Now again, there are 3 video clips for you to watch. Each video clip talks about the particular section. So what I want you to do, watch the 3 video clips. You might want to take notes as you watch the videos. Okay. Answer these questions. Why is it important to have a secure password? What is phishing? How can you avoid it? What is identity theft? How can you avoid it? Okay, so that's your second section. The third section, what laws are there to protect you against online crime, and what do you do if you fall victim to a crime? Okay, so again, there's a video clip here for you to watch. Okay, what I want you to do is think about the following. Research who is responsible for policing identity fraud in the United Kingdom. Explain what UK laws are connected to identity fraud and hacking. And also explain how to report concerns and to who. So how do you report concerns if you've had any issues? Okay, who do you report it to? Okay, so that's the third section. And then the fourth section is looking at a real example of an online crime. Now, I have given you one that you can look at. Okay, you may want to go and research one on your own. Okay, so if you go onto the BBC News website or the Sky News website and put in online crime, you'll get hundreds of different news stories that you'll be able to pull from. So what I want you to do is think about when you're listing the example and talking about it, what can you do to avoid identity fraud? What advice could you give to a victim of identity fraud? And has the story made you think about changing the way that you monitor and protect your own personal data? Okay, so that's the fourth section of the newsletter. Now, once you've got to this stage, you've completed it. Okay, so make sure it looks nice. Make sure you've got plenty of pictures and colour in there. Okay, if you've done it online on the computer, save the file and upload it to Teams. If you've done it on paper, now's the point to get your camera phone out, take a picture of it, and either upload it to Teams by clicking on the assignment, then clicking on the plus sign, go add more files, and from this device, and you'll be able to upload the picture. Okay. Otherwise, you can email it to my school account. Right, the last task that you need to do is the assessment. Okay, by completing the tasks and watching the videos that I've listed, you should have all the knowledge to be able to complete the online assessment that I've set for you. Okay, so all you need to do is click on the link. When the link comes up, put the name in, Connolly 7095, as we always do in class. Click join, it'll ask you for your name, and then you'll go straight in for the test. Okay, I'm not going to show you the test now because you'll see one of the questions. Right, so just a quick reminder of how, if you do your task on paper, which I presume a lot of you would, I would maybe, if it was me, I'd maybe do it on paper for this task, because I think it'd be a nice way of setting it out and you won't have to rely on software then. What you have to do when you go to submit on Teams, go up to the little plus sign that says add more work, click on this device, and you'll be able to link to the picture. Now you can actually log on to the Teams website through your phone. Okay, so if that's easy for you to do, to be able to get it, you can do it that way. Okay. And there you go, there's the picture of the newsletter. Obviously, I've gone through this very quickly, and you will be able to open up the PowerPoint and go through it in more detail and get access to the links. If you have got any concerns at all, please get in touch and I'll support you via email, or I can also do it via Microsoft Teams. Okay, stay safe. See you soon.